And we are off. Both our runners
Et c'est parti, Pan qui prend l'avantage avec
going towards the
rapide. On n'a jamais vu ça.
wooden sword, and as expected, both of them going towards the level 2 to start.
Je vais arrêter les conneries. Je vais essayer d'arrêter de dire vos conneries aussi pour me rester concentré.
I believe we still have Pan's microphone on, so we might want to switch over if Mashy's doing audio only. We might want to switch over to that. There we go. Thank you very much, Fiesel. All right, like I said, both our runners moving over to level 2 is going to be a really good starting point for kind of runners that aren't doing sub 30s or sub 31s or anything like that. The reason being is that level 2 has a lot of bomb opportunities. Not only does it have easier enemy set, it has a lot of bomb opportunities, so you can leave level 2 with bombs a lot easier than you could with a 3-first route. So we'll see if either of our runners can get the first bombs here from these gorillas. Panulphe unfortunately doesn't get it. I forgot that Mashy actually got bombs outside of level 2, so he could skip that blue gorilla room, save a little bit of time. Panulphe getting a really nice Moldorm pattern. Takes it down really easily because the Moldorms actually kind of lined up on each other. Mashy having a little bit more of a struggle because they separated, but still pulls it off really nicely. And we're going to be headed towards... Oh, Panulphe got a bomb drop. That's really good. Going to be headed towards Dodongo. Can sometimes be a bro and sometimes be a troll. We'll see what happens. I got a little bit of drop frames on Panulphe's side, but it looks like he took him out pretty easily, and so did Mashy. And both our runners exiting maybe about 5 seconds behind each other. Or Mashy about 5 seconds behind Panulphe out of level 2. Very close race right now. Now on this route, this is where we're going to have quite a bit of time as our runners collect money and a white sword. So they're going to be collecting a bunch of secrets right now. If they're both doing the blue ring route, you need 250 rupees to buy the blue ring. That is on top of the money that you need to buy the arrows and the meat for this run. So there's a lot of rupees to collect. They have to collect all the 100 secrets in this game, whereas some other routes may only have you collect 1, maybe 2 of them, depending on how lucky you get with your own rupees throughout the run. So here our runners are doing all of that. I hesitate to call it shopping because they're just invading and taking money from these gorillas and taking all their secrets. Panulphe trying to set up a screen scroll to get past this kind of dangerous screen so he doesn't take too much damage. He's already down to 1.5 hearts only, but he's going to be up to 2.5 here in just a sec as he picks up his 5th heart container. So yeah, this is really good for a kind of a spectating point of view because both our runners are running these same, if not very similar routes. So it's going to be really easy to kind of tell who's in the lead if they stick according to their routes. So it looks like Mashy made up a little bit of time in the overworld in just overworld movement. Now about 1 second ahead of Panulphe going to the white sword. And Panulphe having not so good of luck with this blue Lionel. He needs to be really careful because if he gets hit by that Lionel, or Lionel, however you want to say it, he is going to die, and that would be really, really unfortunate. But good news for him is he got through. He's getting up, it picks up his white sword, and the Lionel should be out of his way now that he can get by. But that just means Mashy's lead extended even further, probably about 10 or more seconds now. Panulphe struggling a little bit with the screen scroll. Unfortunately, transitions. He's trying to, because he's only down to a heart and a half, he's trying his best to preserve his health. So screen scrolling can help you dodge enemies and everything like that, whereas Mashy kind of just had enough health to go all the way through and walk. So Mashy entering level 1 here first, extending the lead. And once again, Panulphe just got to be pretty careful not to take too much damage in level 1. Level 1, normally it's okay, but everything in here does about a heart to a half heart of or half heart to a heart of damage. So 2 bops and he potentially is gone. Mashy either, I can't tell if that was a forced bomb or a random bomb, but either way, he is up to 8 bombs, which feels really good, leaving this area of level 1. Panulphe not too far behind. Alright, Mashy picking up his bow. Bow is needed in this game for 2 reasons. One is the level 6 boss Goma, and also finally, the Ganon fight. In this game, you have to defeat Ganon with the bow and the silver arrow, unlike something like Link to the Past, where you can do kind of a silverless Ganon. Can't do that in this game. Alright, Mashy moving on to Aqua Menace. With the white sword, it's only 3 hits and down. Really good. And he is out of level 1. Panulphe picking up his own bow, and not too far behind with all of the little mishaps that has happened on Panulphe's side with the health situation and the screen scrolls. He is not far behind Mashy right now. So Mashy now is gonna, I think, pick up a few more secrets and then head on over to level 3 as the next level. We'll pick up the blue ring after level 3, I do believe. And level 3 is one of the scariest levels that they're going to, mainly for the boss of level 3, Manhandla, is the most random boss in the game as far as the movement goes, and it's very, very easy to die on that boss. Even with all the health they have, and you can go in with full set of bombs, I've still seen it happen. So this is probably one of the more scarier parts of the run for anyone that runs this game. Alright, so Mashy inside level 3 here has a really good amount of bombs. He's going to stop to kill these Zols, which you don't normally see in the 3 first route because we don't have the white sword, but he picks up an extra key here, means he can skip a key later. And yeah, he's just going to move right by these Dark Nuts because he's pretty flush on bombs right now. 7 bombs sitting here is really good. So Panulphe opting not to do the screen scrolling over into level 3 that Mashy did. I'm not sure if that will save him time or not. Mashy did the scrolls fairly quickly. And a pretty decent Dark Nut room there for Mashy. He's going to pick up his Raft, which of course is needed not only to get into level 4, the next level they're going to go to, but also there is a heart container / potion on the coast that I believe our runners will pick up. And one advantage of doing this level on the white sword is that these Dark Nuts are 4 HP, and with the wooden sword take 4 hits or 1 bomb. With the white sword, either take 1 bomb or 2 hits, so it's much easier to kind of get through with only having 2 hits for each Dark Nut in case you don't want to use your bombs. Speaking of bombs, Panulphe is a little low. He does have a static floor drop, and this is that troll handler. Oh my gosh, he actually did a pretty decent pattern there to get the final bomb, leaving with 149 rupees and 7 bombs is sitting pretty good right now for Mashy. He's going to pick up the 100 secret and only needs to get 1 rupee, I believe, right now before picking up the blue ring. Panulphe, like I said, he's getting this static drop room right here and also gets a bomb on the ground. Why not? Fill up all the way to 8. But with a heart and a half, he's got to be really careful on this Manhandla. Manhandla takes away 1 heart of damage each time you get hit by either the body or the fireballs. Clean kill, though. Super clean for Panulphe. Got to feel great about that. And Panulphe has all the rupees he needs. So both our runners getting out of level 3 pretty nicely and on their way to pick up their blue rings. Like I said, Mashy still needs 1 rupee. There it is. All right, that could have been disastrous. I've seen a lot of runs die to 1 rupee not dropping. So I'm glad that came through. Otherwise, I've seen people waste 20 seconds trying to get 1 rupee. So blue ring purchase on Mashy's side. For those who don't know, the blue ring increases your defense by reducing damage by half from what enemies do. So it's a really good protector for especially the later levels in the game. Alright, Mashy already putting that raft to use going into level 4 here. Has to pick up a very important item, not only in the vanilla game, but also a very important item in the randomizer game, of those that are watching the randomizer tournament as well. The ladder here in level 4, guarded by what Darkwing Duck has dubbed the breakfast room, with the pancakes and the Zols. Panulphe trying to get the scroll over to the other side of the river here. Does it pretty nicely. I still think that might have saved a little bit of time, because you have to go down 2 screens, or over 2 screens to get by that. So as long as you can do it in less than about 6 seconds or 9 seconds, it should be fine. Oh, I thought we had a command for Up+A. Somebody's asking what is no Up+A? Up+A in this game, if you are on the, if you're in the menu and have a second controller plugged in and you push Up and A together on the second controller, it's basically a death warp. It sends up the continue, save, retry screen, and what that can do for you is that on the overworld, that'll take you back to the start of the overworld, and in dungeons, it'll take you back to the start of the dungeon. So it's a save warp, basically. Thank you, Rick. So there are categories that do allow an Up and A. Just this one, which is the most popular category, does not allow that. So it's more of a sort of a traditional way to play through the game without it's quote unquote deathless. It's supposed to be kind of like a deathless run, even though deaths are allowed because, things happen. Alright, so Mashy picked up his ladder and is on his way into the two-headed Gleeok fight. A pretty straightforward fight with the with the white sword, only takes 8 hits, 5 on the first, 3 on the second head. Whereas some runners opt to do that as the second level with the wooden sword will take 16 hits. Actually, I don't even think it's 16 hits. Sorry, it's not 16 hits. No, it is 16 hits. That's correct. 16 hits. I was getting confused for a sec. Alright, so Panulphe not too far behind, clearing out this Vire room, has quite a bit of health going into the Gleeok fight. Shouldn't be any problem with the blue ring and the white sword here. Mashy picking up an extra heart container now. The reason they're picking up heart containers is because they're going to try to go for the, going to pick up the magical sword later in the run, which will put their damage output at 4 instead of 2 with the white sword. Makes levels 6, 8, and 9 much easier and much quicker, actually. Bad Mother Trucka, no they do not, and actually right now they are not doing them in order. They are both running the same route right now. They're both running a blue ring 2 first route, but they are not doing the levels in order. The level order that they are doing on this already is levels 2, 1, 3, 4, 5, 7, 6, 8, 9. That's, yeah, and Rick just put it in there. That's the order they're going to do them in. The order level is largely up to you. However, there are some restrictions. To complete level 5, to complete level 7, you need a ladder and a whistle, and the whistle is in level 5. To complete level 4, you need the raft in level 3. To complete level 5, you need the ladder in level 4. And to complete level 6, you need the bow in level 1. So there are some order that you have to do, but it's largely up to you. There are many routes with this game, and that's what kind of makes it a great game to speedrun, is that there's quite a few routes, and they kind of range from beginner to intermediate to advanced on kind of your skill level and what you're comfortable with as to which route you want to do. So, Mashy using his raft for the second time, picking up a potion here on the coast. This is going to serve well later in the run in case things kind of go pretty haywire, potentially in levels 6, 8, and 9. Usually people want potions for that. So as mentioned, Mashy now is going to be making his way towards level 5. Going up the mountain. Panulphe doing a nice scroll over to the Lost Hills. And both our runners are going to actually do the screen scroll over into level 5 area. This actually does save quite a bit of time. If there's a few screen scrolls you want to learn, this is one of them. It saves a good, I don't know, I would say 30 to 40 seconds maybe of walking. So here we go, Mashy entering level 5 and going into definitely one of the scarier rooms of the run. And that is the recorder room, which is guarded by 6 blue dark nuts, and is a room that is dubbed the Room of Requirement because to do it, fast and efficiently, it takes a lot of practice. But he's got 6 bombs and a white sword. We'll see how he does this room. Doing a pretty nice job of getting some bombs on Dark Knights. Unfortunately, only getting singles, but getting some damage out. Ooh, that last bomb missed, unfortunately. He's still got 5 Dark Nuts left. And comes into the same room. A little bit of freeze on Pan's side, keeping us in suspense. And there we go. Mashy picking up his recorder, aka whistle, aka breadstick. And Panulphe, I would say about 10 to 15 seconds behind. So this is still a really close race for our runners. Despite kind of what happened at Pan in the early game, he's made up a little bit of ground, I feel, on Mashy. And both our runners sitting at the same health. Pan's going to have one more bomb to work with. Both of them left the pack of bombs on the ground for the return, which is a good strategy because they're going to need bombs going into level 7 next. Panulphe having a little trouble with the Dark Nuts there, getting in his way. As Rick's pointing out, that's right. Panulphe still needs 3 rupees for his route, whereas Mashy has all the rupees. There is a static drop in the next room for Pan, so if he realizes this, he can kill these Zols right here and get a 5 rupee on the ground, which is exactly what he's doing. He knows this game, and there he goes. He's got his rupees now. Yeah, that's a good point. Laugo pointed out that Mashy had to do an extra menu because he had used up all of his bombs and it went to the potion. But a good clean kill on Dig Dogger there from Mashy, finishing up level 5 about 21 minutes and 47 seconds or so. Let's see how Pan does here. He's a little bit behind in his timer, so it's going to be very close. Nice kill there, and so yeah, I'd say about 20 seconds or so. Close to 20 seconds difference separating these runners. That is not that much in this game. That can be made up in a single level. So here comes the last bit of shopping for both of our runners. They need to buy the meat for the Hungry Gorilla in level 7, which they're going to next, and then they also need to buy the arrows because only arrows can defeat Goma, the boss of level 6, and this is the best spot to buy arrows on this route. Since both our runners have the white sword, doing arrow strats inside of level 7 is not as much of an issue. So Pan would only have 3 rupees for arrows inside of level 7 if he was choosing that route, but I think both of our runners aren't going to switch over to the arrows when they have that white sword. Alright, Mashy playing the recorder where fairies don't live to enter level 7. Panulphe is down. He's farming for a bomb here because he is down bombs. So is Mashy. Both of our runners need a bomb drop to get through level 7. You need a minimum of 5 bombs to get through level 7. Mashy doing a really good job with the meat strats to get the gorillas up and gets that static floor drop to fill up his bombs. He now has enough bombs to get through level 7, but is still 1 short for level 6. Panulphe foregoing the bombs there could. There's another static bomb drop later in level 7, which he'll probably go for if he doesn't get lucky. A lucky bomb drop from the gorillas inside of level 7. All right, both our runners feeding the Hungry Gorilla here. Very close race right now. I think Pan made up a tiny bit more ground as well. Yeah, on the timers, they're almost even on their timers. We were a little bit behind on Pan's side, but judging by when they entered that room, they are very close to each other. Yeah, Panulphe not getting lucky with the bombs, but understands he got the clock drop, so he's going to get a bomb chance right here. And unfortunately doesn't get it. That's unfortunate. So he's going to have to clear out this room right here. And I think he realizes it. Yep, he realizes it. This is the room that has another static drop that he can get. And there we go. Gets his static drop. He has enough bombs to clear out the rest of level 7 now. What's up, Zarby? Yeah, no tracking needed in this one. Alright, so Mashy unfortunately had to get some arrows out because of the Wallmaster, sorry, the bubbles not being very kind. Panulphe into this reverse C as well. Gets a bit better pattern, actually. Yeah, he gets a much better pattern. Doesn't have to menu, which means that Panulphe will gain about 3 to 5 seconds just from not having to menu. And Panulphe still has 1 bomb left over for level 6 to get through. Whereas Mashy has 4 bombs, much better to go through level 6, but both our runners will not have to, if all goes according to plan, they will not have to go through the Gliok of Shame in level 6. Mashy gonna do the second most important screen scroll in the run. The other screen scroll, if you're going to do some screen scrolls, this is what the ones you learn. This saves going through the Lost Woods. Oh, unfortunately, Pan going a little too far. Does get a bomb drop, though. Going a little too far and went out of the scroll. And that scroll is not as easy as it looks because that screen likes to lag a lot. We call it the laggy woods because that screen lags a lot and it can really mess up your movement on the scrolls to make you fail the screen scroll. So Mashy entering level 6 about 27-29. Let's see where Panulphe ends up with entering level 6 after the screen scrolls that were not cooperating. Nice belfry for Mashy there. Kept his beams. That's really good. So Panulphe entering about 27:50. So about 23 seconds now separating these two runners. See how Panulphe does in the belfry. Not too bad. He's missing a lot of sword swings and unfortunately loses his beams, but not a bad room overall. Yeah, there's going to be majority of runners are going to pick up the magical sword, like I mentioned before. It is the fastest human route to do. I'm actually getting a pretty nice clump up of these enemies in Magical Breakfast 2. Takes a bit of damage, but gets out pretty cleanly and quickly. Panulphe not too far behind. Entering his own Magical Breakfast room. As Mashy is finishing up level 6, we're going to try to get these runners back in sync. And I unfortunately have a little bit of a freeze on Mashy's side, so I'll commentate over on Panulphe's here. Taking a bit of bubble damage, unfortunately. But is getting through level 6 here. And yeah, Panulphe finishes off level 6. Unknown where Mashy is, but I'm assuming he got through level 6, and there's probably still about 20 seconds apart, I would say. Level 6 ending is not too bad. So both our runners, even though you can't see Mashy, both of our runners are heading towards level 8 for their final Triforce piece before heading towards level 9 and Ganon's Lair. And level 8 is actually one of the quickest dungeons, to be honest, but still a scary dungeon. Everything in here does 1 heart of damage for both our runners because they have the blue ring, but for Green Tunic, they do 2 hearts of damage, almost everything in this dungeon, and your life can go away pretty quickly. So yeah, we'll get Mashy back whenever he gets up and running. Hopefully that gets up and running before the end of the race. Otherwise, hopefully he's doing a local recording if he duns before his stream is back online. Panulphe having a pretty decent Blue Lagoon 1. Takes a few bops, but gets through pretty nicely and nicely fast. Getting tossed around a little bit in Blue Lagoon 2, not getting as many health drops as he probably wants, but this is where that blue ring comes in handy. And yeah, he's got plenty of health going into the Gleeok fight. Yeah, these level 8 really only has 3 rooms of combat. You got 2 rooms of blue dark nuts and then the 4-headed Gleeok here. The 4-headed Gleeok not too much of an issue with the blue ring and the magical sword. It'll take 3 hits for the first head and then 2 hits for every subsequent head. Having a little trouble on the last one, but does make it through. And Panulphe picking up his final Triforce piece is going to be headed towards level 9. And remember, I believe both of our runners do have a potion right now. Oh, no, Panulphe does not have a potion right now. So maybe he's doing potionless strats. Or he might be picking up, if he skipped this heart container right here, he might be picking up his potion right now, whereas Mashy picked up his potion on the coast. Panulphe trying to get some bombs is not successful, but it is going down to the Take Any to pick up his potion now. So I'll keep an eye on the IRC if Mashy's stream is not up. Looks like Mashy rejoined the IRC, so maybe we're going to get a stream up shortly. But we can still focus on Panulphe here, heading over to level 9. He's got to go all the way up to Spectacle Rock and Death Mountain. Nice screen scroll there to avoids a lot of damage on that screen. He's trying to get a bomb drop right there from the blue Lionel. They can drop bombs, but it is unsuccessful. May also be building up his count to force a bomb in this first room. He has the keys, so he doesn't have to get this key right here. That's the advantage of this route. But we'll see if he forces a bomb somewhere. Nope, skips it right there. So I wasn't paying attention to what his count is to see if he wants to force the bomb somewhere coming up. But he's got a decent amount. He could kill the Patra. There we go. We got Mashy a little bit back up. Is going towards the reverse C. So quite a chunk ahead. His level 8 must have been better than Pan's. Because that is probably a good 40 seconds now. Mashy, don't use any more bombs. Remember, Mashy has a potion as well. I didn't see if he used it in level 8, but he definitely still has a potion. Taking quite a bit of damage. Took a red beam. Down to 5 hearts in the reverse C. Oh, the timer is about 15 seconds ahead. That's a good point. Yeah, the timer's 14 seconds ahead. Picks up his silver arrows at about 35 or so. So we can expect kind of a high 37, maybe low 38, depending on if he has to use this potion or not, out of Mashy. Gets the nice reverse clip. Gets it on the second try. It's a hard clip to do under pressure, but does it pretty nicely and takes only a little bit of damage. Panulphe is flush on bombs right now and has a pretty good amount of health going forward. There we go. Now we got everybody synced up. So a little bit of a high five in the same room, but both going different directions. Panulphe unfortunately didn't get fast enough to get the Patra 2 skip, so he's going to take out Patra 2 here. Nice bomb drop. Yeah, he's going back for those bombs. That could be really good later in the run here. For this room especially, just to have a few extra bombs. Alright, so he's got enough bombs. He only has to use one more bomb for the rest of the run. Panulphe into the reverse C. Has a really decent pattern. Gets a clock drop too, so